All right, let's first of all fix this fucking camera angle and make sure that shit's fucking square. Yeah, we got to be able to see this in here. Wait for a few people to pop on here as we get this started. Did an Instagram live earlier today. Now we'll hop on here on YouTube, get a little FaceTime with everybody. Pretty big announcement tonight for me, and I'm looking forward to this announcement. And I wanted to do it live. Could have just made a video and put a video up about it, which I don't know, it's very unpersonal, and I wanted to be able to answer questions about it because I literally have been wearing some of these prototype shirts, these Ninth Life, for about a month now, and I had several styles made up to see what they look like, how they worked with different kind of in the gym, out of the gym, stuff like that. And as soon as we get some people on here, I'm so excited to tell you guys what this is. You guys have no clue. This is probably the most meaningful thing that I'm about to embark on that I think I've ever done in my whole life, to be honest with you guys. And it's exciting to be able to share with you guys, and to be able to do it live is even better. But let's fix this fucking camera angle again. Make that shit fucking square. There we go. Still fucked up, huh? You guys can see Brady's cookies back there. That's his little thing that have his little cookies in there. Hopefully you guys are doing well out there. I know it's a little bit later. It's about 9:30, which is kind of late. Usually I'm on here a little earlier, but I do have a video rendering, which will be up later tonight. So this is not going to take place of the video, because I know a lot of people are like, oh, doing the lives, it's not really a video. It's not really that much information. It's better with just doing a video. So I'm like, look, you want the video, we'll do the video, and we'll do the live at the same time. So hopefully you guys are doing well and you're done with your Christmas shopping. You're not out right now rushing around doing crazy shit. We'll see what is going on tonight with all of you guys. What is this little button here? Pushing on here. Oh shit, that's the wrong one. BAC or EAC, what's up, man? How are you? Doing well tonight, man. Hopefully you guys are done with your Christmas shopping, right? I'm at the point right now where shit's coming in the mail because nobody shops like in stores anymore. So shit's coming in the mail and I forget that I ordered it, and it comes and I'm like, what the fuck is it? And I open it and like Erin's standing right next to me. I'm like, oh, like fuck. I like put my back to her and then like run in the bedroom and stuff in the closet. Try to hide that shit. Now I gotta fucking wrap presents. Maybe we'll do all bags. Put them in the bags. I've done that before too. You just put gift bags, everything gift bags. So when I wrap a present, it literally looks like a 2-year-old wrapped it. Like I do my best. I try it out. It just doesn't work out right. So Malik, what's up, man? Somebody's giving me money. I appreciate your content. Thank you, Malik. You can give me money on this thing? That's weird. I've never seen that before. Matt, what's up, Matt? How you doing, man? What the hell? I appreciate that. Somebody just gave me $4.99. I didn't even know you could do that. Like, that's actually pretty cool of you. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Xavier, what's up? Caden Mayfield, what's happening, man? How are you? Now we're getting some people on here. Cool. 9man. You spell your 9 like this is spelled. Pretty cool, man. Pay attention. This is going to be for you, too. Starting to see a lot of EAA products. I told you, man. Remember I said by the end of the year? When I put out the Essential Amino Plus, I said by the end of the year, you're not only going to see the essential amino acid products taking place, but the branched chain amino acids starting to reduce. And collagen is bigger now than ever before. People are actually putting it in protein powders now. They're actually cutting the protein powders with collagen. Or I don't want to say cutting, but adding it to the protein powders because they understand how important collagen is, that we need it. So again, I just wanted to, I mean, I didn't want to rush it to market, but I had the idea for so long. And basically when someone steals your idea, they didn't steal your idea. You had an idea and you didn't execute, therefore they got to it first. Therefore, it's not a stolen idea. So I just wanted to make sure that I got it out there because I knew if I put it out, Wayne, what's up, man? That people would bitch and complain, and I have a chance to educate people on it before other people followed suit. So hopefully the education that I gave everybody out there about collagen, about essential amino acids, the Gorilla Chemist also always backed me up on things. He said plenty himself about it. Hopefully that stuff that we put out there has done some work. So we got some people on here now. Let's get into what the Ninth Life is. Ninth Life 2020. Right now, GIFD Labs, if you go on my website, Biochemistry Training, there's an apparel place. You just hit the apparel. Oh, Matt, I appreciate it, man. Thank you. No BCAs. Hit the apparel. It'll link you directly to Isaac. What's up, man? Directly to GIFD Labs, GIFD Merchant Labs, which is the clothing line that I run. So we have new GIFD Labs designs. We've taken away from the GIFD Worldwide with the strength in the back. We have all new GIFD designs. We have stringers, we have tanks, we have hoodies, we have joggers, we have shorts. But here's the thing. I wanted to move in a direction with the clothing line that was not about a supplement line, right? It wasn't really connected to a supplement line. And Unbroken Alliance is something that I did with Primeval Labs. we were doing that before I left Primeval, and that kind of left that dead in the water. So I was like, I want to go in that direction again, but I need to do something that's super personal to me, but connects on an entirely different scale. Ninth Life 2020 was born. Now, what is Ninth Life 2020? Listen to me. All of you know my past, my addiction past, right? Many of you have problems with addiction, have problems with different things that you've fought through your entire life. Most of us have barely escaped and made it to the age we're at. 21 years old, I never thought I'd make it to. 43 is like, you know, this year for my birthday, I was just shocked that I made it another year, right? I was just happy to make it another year, right? Cats have 9 lives, right? It's always a joke that we would have inside of the recovering addict. Awesome, man. Stay with it, Manny or Danny. And we'd always say, yeah, well, I'm living on my 9th life now, man. I got to clean up. I'm done with 8 lives. I'm on my 9th now. It was like a joke in the addiction community, right? And I kind of thought, like, you know what? That's true. Like, so many times I should have been dead. So many times you guys should have been dead if you're messing with that stuff. So many times we should have been done, but we're not. We're still here. Why are we here? There's got to be a purpose, right? We have a purpose. Like, there's a reason why we're still here, and our friends didn't make it. And I said, you know what? I'm going to live my days every day like it's my 9th life. Like, today is my last fucking day. That is how I'm going to live my life. That's one of the reasons why I did GIFD. That's one of the reasons why I went to 5%. I left 5%, went to Primeval. That they call me and say, hey, we need you to go to Dubai. I don't even think about it. I'm hopping on a plane. I've never been on a plane for 17 hours. I could lose my mind in that plane and be anxious with anxiety. Let's go. Today's my last day, right? 9th life. You're living your 9th life. If you made it here with me, you are living your 9th life. We're all living our 9th life. And you live your life like it's your last option, your last opportunity, your last chance, right? Your last day on earth. How much more fulfilling is that than if you put things off? You do things like you never thought you would, right? You start planning vacations. You start saying, well, I'd like to do this with my son because, I wanted my dad to do that with me and we never did it. Like, the wheels start turning to make your life more fulfilling, right? To try to make your life content, right? Because happiness comes and goes. Aaron and I had this conversation. Happiness comes and goes. It's like anger. You're not angry all the time. You're also not happy all the time. There's no way anybody can be happy all the time, right? It's impossible, but you can be content. So happiness will be up and down, sadness will be up and down, anger will be up and down, but being content, right? So if this is your last life and you're content with this is my last life, you now open up a whole new, I don't even know how to explain it, right? The whole world opens up. It's like, the world is your oyster bullshit they give you in high school. That's the way you look at things when you live like this is your last day on earth. This is your 9th life. The 2020, very important, those numbers. Now, they always say hindsight is 2020, okay? And that's a true statement. When you're involved with something, heroin addiction, okay? Opiate addiction, alcoholism, meth addiction, whatever the case may be, when you're involved in it, you don't even understand what the fuck is coming in front of you. You don't understand really what's happening right now, what's happening in front of you. But once you get from here to there, you can look back. And when you look back, you can connect the dots to make a perfect picture. It makes perfect sense why everything happened, the way you went through it, the way you got out of it. It all makes sense because hindsight is 2020. Now, that being said, shit, I have hindsight with everything that was been done in my life. So do you. We have enough knowledge to know the things that we did, the things that we failed at, things that we succeeded at. All of those lessons can be used now, tomorrow, 3 years from now. It made all perfect sense with the whole 9th life thing. I said, you know what? My clothing line is going to be 9th life 2020. Or maybe it'll just be 9th life and the 2020 is just part of this design. And I said, you know what? Let's roll with it now. The 9 and 3 in numerology, the 9 and 3 basically are both divisible by 3, which is a very important number on so many. If you guys look it up, you'll see so many different things. But it could mean, you, your wife, and your son. You, your wife, and your kid, if there's 3 of you. It could mean the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. It could mean, like BioS3 training. I use the 3, training, diet, and cardio. There's so many things that the number 3 is attached to. And the number 9, if you look up 93, it's a very powerful number in numerology. So you will see the 93, or the 9, the 3, the 93, the 2020 in the designs that come out in 9th life. So it's a very big part of 9th life. So I am so excited, guys. Right now we have t-shirts up with this color, the gold and the black. We don't have long sleeves. I made these long sleeves as prototypes to see how they looked as long sleeve tees. But we have this design up in the gold and black. We also have a gray and white with this design. We also have hoodies hoodies with this design, black with the gold, and we have these hoodies up there at the same time. Let me see if I can get it opened up. With the Ninth Life 2020 straight across, which I really like the way it looks in one row like that. So we have hoodies like this and t-shirts up like this right now. And this one I decided to go with like a GIFD on the sleeve, which when I really started thinking about it, like cross-branding with the GIFD is kind of not what I really wanted to, get involved in. Wayne, we'll see you, man. Later, bud. So right now, guys, it's up. If you go to, biosectraining.com and click on the apparel, you'll see everything there. And I am so excited. You guys have no clue to be able to do something that really, really connects on a emotional and psychological, physical, every level with people that have gone through this. Like many of my viewers have been addicted, or if they're not addicted, they have family members that are going through addiction, or best friends that are going through addiction, or kids, or somebody, right? That nice click on a QVC commercial. Well, it's my channel, man, and I'm excited about this. So there's no way I'm not going to talk about it. Like that's why I'm on here right now talking about it. So what do we got here? We're behind you. Oh, Christopher, I appreciate that, man. Like I said, I really didn't know what direction to go in, because like you're involved in this fitness industry thing and everything kind of takes shape, but you're kind of thinking, what can I do that, GIFD Labs is my thing, because GIFD has been my thing since 2012 when I started using the GIFD. But the Ninth Life has been mine for 25 years, or wait, 16 years since I've been clean. So let's see what this question, answer some questions on here too. Oh, you came when I was selling shirts. Well, today, the shirts are something that just happened today, and I'm super excited. Do I believe in protein powders? I don't know if you can see that up there. Isolit. And, well, I don't have another protein, but so Isolit is the one that we use from Primeval. So you're going to be making a boatload of cash. The goal is to get the shirts out to anybody. I literally just put an order in for a bunch of freebies. So if everybody thinks this is a money thing, I'm going to be giving away a bunch of fucking t-shirts that are 100% free that I'm going to lose money on. So, well, that's the thing, Brian, talk about taking risks. Like the thing is, I don't know if it's necessarily a risk or if it's I have a message to get out. And if you make no money from it, you make no money from it. It doesn't matter. Because somewhere somebody's going to be wearing these t-shirts and someone's going to ask them, what the fuck does that say? And they're going to tell them. And they may not buy a t-shirt. The company may be closed at that point. It may be completely bankrupt. Who knows? But the bottom line is, long after I'm done with this, somebody's going to be wearing this fucking shirt, or somebody's going to be wearing it in another country, doesn't know who I am. And somebody's going to wear it and see that, the other person's going to see that, and they're going to ask them. And just like I'm explaining it to you guys, it's going to click. Because there isn't anybody in the fucking America, period. I don't know about other countries, but nobody in America that hasn't been affected by addiction in some way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? But we're starting to see people kind of turn it around, though, right? People are getting clean. They're getting off drugs. I'll tell you right now that I've seen 100% of the people that talk to me on here and on Instagram, if they had a drug problem, they flat out say, I'm in recovery. I'm off. I've been off for 2 weeks. I've been off for 3 days. Everybody that talks about it's clean. Nobody gets on here and goes, yo, I'm so fucked up because I'm still on drugs. You know what I mean? So my thing is, if you realize, and here's where I have a leg up on all of you guys, it's 16 years I've been clean. This year is 16 years. Not one relapse ever. I watch Dope Sick Nation with Aaron. I watch Intervention, and I watch most of these people fail miserably at it. And the reason why I honestly think they fail is they see even the people that succeed still relapse. The people that succeed still have a hard time fighting it. They don't see people that have actually succeeded and then went out in the world and said, here's the deal. I'm absolutely going to fucking explain to you that the longer you do this, the easier it is. Yes, you have to fight for the rest of your life, but it gets easier the longer you do it. It's like anything else. You know what I mean? If you do a bench press every day for the rest of your life, by the time you die, it's easier before you tear your pecs. But eventually it's easier. It gets easier and easier. You have to do repetitions. And every day that you're off drugs is a repetition of being off drugs. You're doing sets and reps. Literally, have I ever thought of being a counselor? Yes, but you got to go to school for that. I am so bad with studying with dyslexia. I'm the biggest dummy. It's time to bear the soul tonight, guys. Why not? We're talking about addiction. We're doing Ninth Life. It's my Ninth Life. I don't care. The thing is, I can't take a test to save my life. Like I read, I switch letters around all the time. My writing is almost unlegible. Like people that I sign stuff to, they're like, oh, I know it's your name, but I don't know what the fuck else it says, Oh, Steve, I appreciate it, man. But, it's very hard for me. It's scary. I'll be honest with you, I'm scared. to go back to school to become a counselor. I'm worried about it. I'm scared about it. I don't know if I could do it. There's not many things in this world I would ever say that I can't do or I'm not sure that I can do. This is one of those things where I don't feel like I'm good enough to do the counseling thing. I feel like I could do it without the schooling. And I know you need the schooling first. And the thing is, the schooling is just to have that piece of paper. But every counselor that I know has been through addiction, and that's how they really know how to help people, is through going through it themselves. You know, and I've been through it, and not only did I go through it, but I was able to come through it on the other side, understand a lot of it. And there might be people watching this right now that you guys actually know. I think there's people that you guys actually know that contact me, names within the bodybuilding world that are opiate addicted, I guess you want to say. And some of it's not their fault. Some of it is they got fucked up and they started using drugs. Some of them have been prescribed medications by doctors, and they hit me up to go, Jerry, here's the deal. I don't want to be on this anymore. Like, what do I do? You know what I mean? I'm not a fucking doctor. I can tell you what I did. And just from my story and my experience, these people literally will contact me 2-3 weeks later and be like, I've been off for 2 weeks. 2 weeks done. You know, I had a rough 2 or 3 days, 4 days, whatever it is. But at this point, I'm clean. Thank you so much. And we stay in touch. And I'll even hit them up and be like, hey man, it's been 2 weeks. How you feeling today? Any cravings or this, that, and the other thing, just to check in and see how they're doing. Because I honestly do 100% feel like I not only understand, but I know what to do next. Like when someone says, I'm feeling this, I'm thinking this, I know what to do next because I've had to do it. And I didn't have anybody to tell me it was the right way, it was the wrong way. I had no help. It was literally me on my own trying to figure that fucking shit out. And once you figure it out, it is very, very fulfilling to be able to tell someone, I did this. If you do this, it may work, it may not, but this is what I did, it worked for me. And they say, well, then they have a question, well, what if this happens instead? Okay, well, that happened to me. This is what I did in that circumstance too. What if this doesn't happen, but this happens? Okay, that didn't happen to me, but I thought about that and this, blah, 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 blah. Or a friend of mine, you know, like you have all this life experience to pull from. And I think that, you know, I talk to Aaron all about this all the time. I don't know how much time I have left, you know. I have destroyed my body over years between, I think a lot of people point at me and they go, well, Jerry trains like an idiot. That's why he fucking hurts himself. They forget that I did pro wrestling for 4 years and I was in the ring 3 days for practice, 2 days for traveling, and sometimes the third day for traveling. So 6 days a week I was in the ring, plus doing my bodybuilding stuff. I wasn't competing in bodybuilding, but I was training, keeping my body up. So I banged my body around over and over again. And practices for wrestling are, in professional wrestling, are so abusive. You are hitting things over and over. There weren't big classes, so our drills were over. Bruises, bangs up, fucking concussions, sprains, strains, pulls. I mean, the jarring of your back. I mean, the reason why I can't squat and deadlift, that hip doesn't rotate properly because of wrestling. It's not squatting and shit, you know? So they forget that between destroying my body with that, after that point, I went full bore with the drugs and stuff and decided to go back into bodybuilding, right? The heroin, the opiates, I mean, my body was a fucking playground for about 20 years of my life. You know what I mean? So I look at it and I step back and go, it had to have taken life like years off my life. It has to have. It could not have. Even though I feel good now, I feel better than I ever have. You know, at 40, I feel healthy, I feel good, I feel strong, but not strong like I can lift 1,000,000 pounds, but I get up in the morning and I feel good, you know? And I go, that could be today, like 6 months from now, I could be dead, you know, or tomorrow I could walk out the street, get hit by a car. But, you know, I just feel like I have all this information. And look at Ozzy Osbourne. Ozzy Osbourne's looking like Mick Jagger, right? Mick Jagger. Who's the other guy? You know, Ozzy, Mick Jagger. There was someone else. Was it Keith Richards, Mick Jagger? There's a few other guys. I don't even understand how they're still alive, but they're kicking, right? Maybe that'll be me. Who knows? But before I leave this world, the information that I have, the help that I can give, like, guys, I don't make a fucking, if you guys think you make any money on fucking YouTube, you're not making shit. I mean, I don't give a fuck what some of these people like fucking Blaha say. You're not making shit, okay? If you're getting fucking less than 2-3 million views, you're not making shit. Well, let me rephrase that. If you're used to being very poor and you make $1,000 a month on YouTube, then you're like, whoa, but most people are not even gonna make $1,000. The views I get are not even $1,000 a month, right? So if you think that you're getting money from making these videos, like my satisfaction is my content, right? I'm content with the fact that when I put out the information about addiction and I try to give people some help, when I run into them face to face, like literally when they come to see me at an expo or I run into them on a trip somewhere. I was in fucking Mexico and I ran into people that watch the channel in Mexico, right? There is no more there's no more of a fulfilling feeling, no better feeling than to have someone walk up to you with tears in their eyes that you've never met that said, I thought it was hopeless. My counselor said it was going to be almost impossible. Like I didn't have people around me. My friends overdosed. My father friend died. Fucking, the other ones can't get off of it. I have a friend who lives in Florida and she left her boyfriend. He's still in Rhode Island, fucking on drugs. She had to fucking leave him to get away from him. Like there's just so much going on. And to be able to give back to those people the knowledge that I have and say, it's like being a dad, right? It's going to be okay. You know what I mean? It is going to be okay. You are going to be okay. I promise. All you have to do is want to be okay. That's it. Think about it like this. When you want to go out with a girl, you're going to call her, you're going to show up to work, bring her a flower, you want her to go on a date with you, so you work at it, right? If you want bigger muscles, you go in the gym and you work at it, right? It doesn't come immediately and easily. If you want that job, you apply, you go to the interviews, you send resumes, you go to multiple interviews, you try. All you have to do is want to be clean. You have to want to have a better life. And as soon as you want that, like truly want it in your heart, and you realize this drug life is not right for me, like I'm going to die. As soon as you realize that light switch will go on. And if that light switch goes on, all you have to do is the next day, get up and tell yourself, I want to be clean. I want to live a better life. I want this. I want that. Okay, what's the next step? Every time I get a craving, I need to stop myself and think about it. I need to make sure I get into therapy. I need to be with the counselors. I need to figure out why I'm doing this. I need to find the underlying reason, because I'll never be better without that. All that work you're going to do is just like the work you do in the rest of your life, right? And you're going to have some emotional ups and downs, and you're going to have days where you cry, laugh, fucking throw up. You do it all at the same time, right? But when it's all said and done, that experience, like your soul is cleansed by the time you're done. I can't explain it, guys. I mean, if you've been through it, you understand that the day that you wake up and you no longer feel withdrawals, like the sun is brighter, the birds are louder, like people are just, they get around you, you can feel their moods and stuff. Like if one's upset, you kind of feel it. This person's happy, they rub off on you, you feel that. Like your whole life changes just because you wanted it to change, So that's the goal, guys. You know what I mean? And if a clothing line included in it, like here's the deal. I could stand in front of this camera all day long and it's going to reach so many people, right? Only so many people are going to be on here. But the people that buy the shirts and wear them out, new people are going to see those shirts. New people are going to ask questions. And when they ask those questions, that's how it spreads. So clean since 2011. Awesome, Steve. Now, let me ask you a question, Steven. So, because we can interact on this, which is cool. I like the live thing. What was it that made you decide that's it, right? For me, I woke up one morning. We had almost no money in the bank account. My wife and I were both working at the time. She couldn't barely go to work, so we didn't have any dope, right? I fucking was just trying to fight through it. We were calling people that we knew that would have dope, and they didn't have any dope, right? Oh, it's not going to be in for a day or two, not maybe 3 days at the most. So next thing you know, you're calling into work because you're sick. Like, oh no, I got the flu, blah, blah, blah. Like you're making up excuses. You're sitting in that fucking house and you can't sleep. You can't stay awake. You're fucking losing your mind. The days become night. The night becomes day. You don't even know what the fuck is going on outside the house. You barely eat, right? And I said, this is like the fucking 100th time we've been through this. Like, I don't want to fucking live like this anymore. It's Groundhog Day. It never ends. I can't be 50 years old fucking doing this. Timmy already fucking died, right? Greg died. Fucking people are overdosing left and right and fucking dying. Our other friends like fucking Bob and them wound up in jail. Like they're not getting out for fucking very long time, and they had to detox in jail. How the fuck do you think that feels? They don't help you. They throw you in a fucking cell and let you sweat it out, Ed says when he stopped drinking, he told himself it was only temporary. He was training and that turned into don't crave alcohol. So that's another thing. So Ed brings up a good point. Like he stopped drinking and doesn't crave alcohol anymore. Once you stop, the cravings really subside. Now, they may pop up here and there. Don't get me wrong. When the first couple of years, when you have something that upsets you, like really upsets you, and fucking, you're like, you get the anxiety and your fucking heart's pounding, like your stomach is in a knot, and you feel like you're gonna throw up and your head's pounding and spinning. The first thing you want to do is get high. That's just what it is. It's what you know to do. You've trained your brain, you've trained yourself to do that. So the first couple of years is touch and go. It's very hard. But I'm a Portuguese, okay? I'm Portuguese. We are stubborn as fuck. Like, what's his name? Konevsky would say, stubborn as fuck. I think he actually got that from Rich Piana, to be honest with you. But I was like, I'm not, my counselor told me that I basically have no chance of making it. And when he told me that, I was like, fuck you, man. Challenge accepted. Fuck old motherfucker tell me I'm not going to make it. Who the fuck he thinks he's talking to? Like, I got an attitude about it. but that was the right switch to flip on me, right? It was the right button to push that he pushed that got me fucking up in arms, and I was fucking off and running. I was like, there's no fucking way. Like, it's just how it was, you know? Steve says he spent 2 weeks in bed. Towards the end, he stopped getting up to drink or use the bathroom. Woke up at 3:30 and hang on, this thing fucking jumped off. Dog looked at me and had to get up for him. I took him for a walk and life started there again. So your dog basically got you out of bed, right? So you have a realization, right? When you stop getting out of bed to pee, you know what I mean? You're like, fuck it, I'll just stay. You know, I'll just stay in bed. You things start to change. You give up on life, right? Steven, what's up, Steven? So once you give up on life, you have two choices. You fight back and live, or you die. That's it. Like, that's the only, that's the only thing that you can do. And I have more than one time been right on that edge of suicide. And I mean, to be totally honest with you guys, I mean, I'm being totally upfront, and Erin could attest to this too, because she knows everything. I planned it to the point where I had it completely planned out, where no one would know what was going on. No one would be able to stop me. The right people would find me. It would be in a place where my relatives and friends wouldn't have to drive by and be like, well, that's where Jerry fucking killed himself. I had it planned where it would have been perfect. My phone, I would have filmed videos for each person that I wanted to hear these things. And then I would have left a note that says on the camera, Kai Green. What's up, Kai Green? I don't think you're the real Kai Green, right? It's Key Green. What's up, Key Green? I would leave notes on my phone for the people and leave a note that said, I'd leave videos. And the note would say, there are videos on my phone for each person that I need to talk to. And then I would do it. Okay, so that's where I've come from. All right, that's from the bottom of my heart. Like, I had it planned, not just planned, but had processed it, how to do it, what the least painful way is to do it, et cetera, right? I sleep 23 hours a day. Anything I can advise. Yeah, fucking stop sleeping, dude. Get up, take some fucking caffeine if you have to, but don't go back to bed. Stay out of bed. No matter how much you want to go to bed, stay out of bed. But at 23 hours a day, if you're sleeping, you're narcoleptic or you have some kind of problem. So I would go to the doctor. Actually, my advice is to go to the doctor, But message retracted. That's funny. Jerry Montjerian, Mark Matano. I don't know how to say that. I'm sorry, man. My bald because of steroids. Yes. Yep. I'm gonna fucking be one of those people that goes against the grain and says, no, I was genetically. But listen, everybody in my family has thick Brillo pad hair. My father had barely a bald spot on the back of his head when he passed away at like 70 years old. Like, he had thick flowing. He had really good hair, actually, and I had hair like my dad, thick hair, but yeah, I started taking steroids, it started falling out. So if I could let it grow, I have like hair in the front, on the sides. It's still thick through here. There's like a big bald spot on the back over here. It looked like I have like a yarmulke or something on my head, like a skin colored yarmulke on my head. But what the fuck are we talking about? And I have ADD too. Oh, the suicide thing. So yeah, I've actually planned it to the point where it would have been impossible to stop me, and it would have been the best case scenario, So the bald spot. I mean, I didn't even know I had a bald spot, because when you look at the back of your head, right? So I was dating this girl, and I was away with her on vacation, and we were at this we were going to a wedding, and I got up in the morning at the place we were staying at, and I looked, there's hair all over the pillow, and I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, why is this hair? And she goes, you're going bald. I'm like, no, I'm not. So I took a mirror and I went like this, and I went, oh, fuck, I'm going bald. Son of a bitch. So she went with her her friend to the wedding rehearsal. I wasn't in the wedding, and I stayed there with her buddy. So she grew up with this kid, Eddie. Eddie's girlfriend and her went to the thing. I said, Eddie, you got clippers here? And he goes, clippers? I said, yeah, hair clippers. He's like, for what? I said, I'm gonna shave my head. He goes, but Angelica doesn't know. I said, fuck it, who cares? So I shaved my head for the wedding. She came home, I had a baseball hat on, but you could see like there was no hair near my ears and shit. She was like, the fuck did you do? I took it off. She's like, wow, I really like it. So that was like when I first realized I was going bald, and I first shaved my head. But how the fuck did we even get on the subject of suicide? I don't know. Anyways, the bottom line is there's been extremely dark places. Oh, that's how it was. There's been extremely dark places that I've been at on the edge. I mean, literally standing on the edge, and it was like the next breath I take is going to be my last. And my dog Bruno and Nico, those two dogs saved my life, because I knew that they would not understand where I went, and I would not be able to explain to them. I just would disappear. The light's starting to go over here. To get up to that light, we had to get a ladder and climb all the way up there. So I just need to get the ladder and to get up there and change it, which is a giant pain in the ass. But yeah, so the dog saved my life. So I get it, man. I get that the dog helped you start your new life. I mean, hands down. I mean, There are days that I get up and I look at Brady and he's no different than a kid to me. You know, he's just really not. So I understand 100%, man. Well, Adam, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, getting sober, it really is an eye opener. Matter of fact, I'm just like everybody else. I partake in, I like to hang out with my friends and go to places, restaurants and stuff like that. But um, hey, Melissa, yes, the sale is still on. It's going to be going on through New Year's, but New Year's is going to be bigger. Like it's always very big for the supplements and stuff like that. 3 weeks out or 3 weeks, 3 weeks clean. Absolutely, Melissa. You're 3 weeks clean. Booze. That's awesome, man. Trust me, the longer you go, the easier it gets. Yes, we will be at the LA Fit Expo. Yep, definitely. No, I didn't withdraw off the Suboxone. So I was on heroin, and at the end it was just heroin, but Oxycontin, Nubane, heroin, Vicodin, Percocet, Percodan. So kratom, here's what everybody doesn't understand. Kratom does not affect the same opiate receptors in your brain. It's not the same. Okay, like I thought the same thing. I was like, well, anything that hits the opiate receptors. Here's the thing: when you kratom, here's the problem. You may have taken kratom before and had issues. About 80% of the kratom is spiked with opiates. Ask Chris Bell. They're spiking it with opiates. Some of these companies, it's fucked up. But you get an actual clean kratom, which Chris Bell actually has a kratom company that's 100% legit. They were having extremely hard times. They were not regulating it, so they were actually spiking it with fentanyl, spiking it with other shit. And it was like people are getting addicted to it. And they're like, how the fuck is this possible that this person gets so fucked up on it, but this person who had an opiate problem can stop taking it altogether? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Once they started testing the powders that they were getting, the raws were coming from China and shit. Fucking bad, dude. I mean, that's not like uncommon, right? Because we had stuff that was spiked here, like Hot Stuff was a company that spiked their fucking stuff with D-ball. That's an illegal drug. We had NO Explode, which had Coumadin in it. Coumadin. It's a fucking blood thinner. It was a prescription blood thinner. We had a hydroxycat that had usinic acid in it. It's like DNP. We had Nitrotech that had fucking androstenedione in it. These are illegal things that are these are fucking medications that are in goddamn fucking supplements. So, see, I've never used the kratom. Like, there's no reason for me to take it. Like, I don't have withdrawals. Anybody with pain I can deal with, so. Charlotte's Web, yes. You don't have to load up on it. You just take 30 milligrams a day. So it covers the opioid receptor. So here's a funny thing. You're like, oh, but it covers opioid receptor. So does Suboxone and methadone, but they don't make you high, right? So there are things out there that do something similar. Like the Suboxone, I had no problem coming off of. I literally had no problem coming off the Suboxone. I think the problem is most people are on too high of a dose and they don't cut down over time. So my Suboxone was not a super high dose, but it was only maybe, I moved here in December. By February, I was off the Suboxone. So about 2 months I was on Suboxone. And we didn't have those Listerine strips they have nowadays. We had just these pills that you would break up and, put like under your tongue. And I would just break those in pieces inside the smallest little pieces and then put it under my tongue. And people that are on opiates can get high on Suboxone too. They just need to take enough of it. You can actually take those strips, peel them apart, put them in a syringe, shake it up, and fucking do a cold shake and inject it. I'm doing this in my neck because the girl I saw in intervention shot it in her neck. But she was living on a Native American reservation. But no Arnold. I don't think we're going to do the Arnold this year. Honestly, I think we're going to be in Mexico. More than likely, we're going to be in Mexico. But the Arnold just, it's, without having a booth. Last year I went there and I saw probably a quarter of the people that wanted to see me. I was getting like jammed up in traffic, like getting stuck in big places, like you can't really get by. Then when you get by, the other person is looking for you is going the other way. It was just like a giant pain in the ass. So if there is a booth, if there's somebody that's like, Jerry, I want you to come to the booth, I'll absolutely go to the Arnold. Without a booth, it's tough, Europa, I'm not sure. Maybe the Orlando Europa, possibly. So as far as the next releases for the supplements, we're going to have, I have two or three more supplements I really want to put out, but I want more flavors out first. Like I want to have these flavors, and we're going to be moving on to Amazon in 2019. I think I've taken this thing as far as I can at home. I need to expand. And what I do not want to do is go into debt by getting a headquarters and a warehouse and hiring all these people and shit when Amazon does better advertising and fulfillment at the same time. And some top names that I know in the supplement industry, some people that are really wealthy are using Amazon and they're doing well with it. So I think that is the next step. I've heard these rumors of people like, oh, Amazon's this, Amazon. Like, listen, if you know what the fuck you're doing and it's your products and your supplements, then you can do it. If you put up shit that you don't know too much about, then you're taking a chance. So LA, we're going to be in LA the end of January, which is the LA Fit Expo. We'll be about 2 or 3 days, maybe 4 days. We'll be out there. So it's going to be fun because I don't have a booth to go to. It's going to be going to the expo and hanging out, meeting people, going to Venice Beach to train because Aaron's never been there, shooting a video out there. I'm going to meet up with Leo Costa, do a video with him while I'm out there. You know, we're going to go to Iron Addicts to see the Iron Wars 4, which Aaron's never been to Iron Addicts. So, like, it's going to be partially business, but a lot of fun trip this year, you know? allstarhealth.com is good. What's All Star Health? Expos in Canada, not yet. My products are not up there, but I would love to get there soon. So, what was it again? I didn't see the thing. Could Jesus microwave a burrito that hot and tell himself he could not eat it? What? I'm definitely not full. I've had 0 carbs today. Actually, I had 30 carbs today. Sorry. All Star Health. I have to check that one out pretty good too. And Amazon decided to do what decided. They offer fulfillment, which there's not much more I can do here at the house, you know. Nubane is a pharmaceutical grade opiate. It's antagonist, so you can't overdose on it. They give it to women in labor to curb pain. And bodybuilders figured out it was supposed to be like for cortisol, whatever. Meet up at the BPI booth. And you just want to see me get punched in the face. But I got pretty good. My face is pretty flat. I don't have very good bones on my face, so it's really hard to hurt me in my face. But Clint Eastwood, no, the Mule, no, I haven't seen that. I didn't even know Clint Eastwood's still alive. Is it a new movie or? I had no idea. But yeah, so we're gonna be moving on to Amazon, I think, and we're just gonna run it from there. So yeah, Nubane was big, man, and I think that people are in denial about literally. I don't have show abs, but I have abs all the time. Like I'm never out of shape. Like I'm not even remotely out of shape ever. So, but Nubane was you know, I think people were lying to themselves. You know, they were like, "Oh, I'm right, a V. What's up?" Not bald, sure, yeah. Oh, that was from the warehouse. Oh, cool. Online coaching, yes, Dawson. I've been doing online coaching for about 9-10 years now, somewhere in there. I've had clients in 18 countries. Yeah, I love it because I get to interact with people all over the world then, which I find out different foods that they have in different areas, which I think is pretty cool because we have the foods here and you give somebody a food list, they're like, we don't have it, we have this. I'm like, what the fuck is that? So then I got to do research on what that food is to figure out what it's most like that we have in America to figure out how it fits in the diet. So by working with people in other countries, I learned a lot from them, you know, about foods in general, you know. But what the fuck are we talking about? Nubane. So I think a lot of people were lying to themselves about how much does what cost. Jeez, you guys, I love when these things pop up so fast. But addiction, I appreciate that, man. Biggest my arms have ever been, they're just under 20. I never cracked the 20 mark. They were like 19 and like 9/10 or something. Like it was so close that I could have been like, oh, they're 20. But be honest with you, they weren't 20. I would love to be able to say, yeah, they were 20 inches, right? My neck was just under 20 inches. My calves were just under 20. Everything was big, but I just never got there, you know? Interesting. Well, here's the thing, like they, as far as unauthorized sellers, nobody has my supplements besides me, right? So really nobody else can sell them. If they wanted to buy 20 Primazines and sell them on fucking Amazon, and they bought them for me for my sale price and they resold them, I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? If they wanted to buy 1,000 of them and resell them, I don't give a fuck. It's like I'm wholesale selling them to them. Knock yourself out. You know what I mean? If they already paid me for them, I don't care, but they're not knocking them off or anything. Do I meditate? I do. Something that it's only been probably a few years that I've started doing the meditation, but I feel much more centered and grounded when I do it. I do feel like it is, as I get older, I am much more spiritual. And obviously, if you see the tattoos on my hands, my newest tattoos, they're spiritual based. They're not bodybuilding or, well, actually none of my tattoos are bodybuilding based. How do they recover from a 5-hour training day? Well, a lot of those guys didn't work. I don't know if you know that. A lot of those guys were on the beach. Like Arnold, those guys, they just laid on the beach all day. So, yeah, SARMs, we've done plenty of videos on SARMs. They're up there. What time do I meditate? Usually late. It's once I get done with all my work, it's dark in the house, right? Shut all the lights off. I even have to shut the Christmas tree off because I need the dark. And what I'll do is I lay on the couch and I'll watch TV till I get a little bit drowsy. When I get to the point where I'm tired, I'm almost ready to fall asleep, that's when I'm susceptible for meditation, right? An hour is fine is the way. An hour is fine. Well, it depends. I mean, look, everybody's going to have their system, right? But for me, what I have found works for me, the time when I'm most susceptible to be able to relax in that state is after I've showered, like a hot shower, and I'm relaxed on the couch, getting ready to be going to bed, right? And I have my iPad and I have my Beats by Dre over the ear headphones, which cancels out everything else around me, right? So I have the ones that I train with, which are the rock headphones, and the Beats by Dre are on my iPad. And I turn on something called binary beats, okay? Binaural beats. Binaural beats. So I want to thank my buddy, I didn't see that, but I'll check that in a second. PJ Black, who his name is Justin Gabriel from the WWE, and he's very spiritual. And he turned me on to the binaural beats, and they are different frequencies. So you can pick the frequency that you want for healing, for spiritual health, for you know, to become more empathetic, to become less fearful, all these different types of things. In these binaural beats, as you're laying there, you'll hear the music, which is very almost new wave like, but that's not what it is. The frequency what's important. Everything vibrates in a frequency. We vibrate in frequencies. Everything vibrates on frequencies. Plants, everything. And you actually start to see things as you're falling asleep, like weird, like kaleidoscope, like weird shit. Like it's doing things to your brain. The music, the frequency is doing something to your brain. And a couple of them are 8 hours long. So as soon as I fall asleep on the couch, I leave the headphones on, and the whole time I'm asleep, these beats, these binaural sounds are in your brain, and you wake up and you're like focused and you're fresh. Here's how Erin and I usually split the sleep up. So right now Erin's in bed. She gets up at like 3 o'clock in the morning, 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. So if I come to bed before that time at all, it wakes her up. So what I do is I crash on the couch with my binaural beats on until she gets up, and then she wakes me up and I go to bed. So I have a good maybe hour or so on those binaural beat things. There have been nights where I just fell asleep and she came out here and saw me with the headphones on and left me alone. And just the whole time, 8 hours straight, I had those things going on. It really does make a difference. And people are going to go, oh, it's the quack stuff, new wave, stupid Jerry. Cool, whatever it is. Some people like to go out and drink beer. Some people smoke weed. I turn on my iPad and listen to binaural beats. You know what I mean? That works for me. Maybe, you know, it's not something people are interested in. But yeah, absolutely. I think that being in touch with your spiritual self is important. I didn't used to, but I do feel like that now. So we got like 42 minutes on here, guys. Oh man, we're getting friggin'. Let's get that. I want to get that. Yeah, Melissa, it's called binaural beats. They pop up. There's tons of them. Subscriber for a year now. Love honesty content. Mexico sports. New Mexico sports supports me. Oh, thank you, man. Merry Christmas, JJ. Merry Christmas. And I wanted to see one because it was like a long post that he put up that went away pretty quick. But Melissa, be aware that there's one, and I don't know which one it is, all right? There's one binaural beat, and I'm telling you this because I don't want to freak you out because you'll be like, Jerry, you're such an asshole. So there's one when you turn it on, you put it on, it's like very relaxing, and you're laying there, you're like, oh, you're like all the shit that's going on, you're like, oh, it's like, you know, spacing out, and you're feeling good, and then you hear, in your ear, like if you ever seen the movie The Ring, it's like, and you're like, what the I was like, I looked around the room, I was like, what? Because it sounds like somebody's in your fucking ear. And I pulled the fucking headphones off. I was like, what the fuck was that? And I put them back on. I was like, it was the creepiest fucking shit in the pitch black to have this nice soothing music, to have this fucking thing come out of nowhere. And I still, The Grudge, that's what it was. And I still can't figure out why it's in there. You know what I mean? I unsubscribed a little while ago. What a douchebag. Like, we had to know that you unsubscribed, right? Let's take this. Put this guy, put him in timeout. We'll just remove him altogether. He's gone. Not The Ring, yeah. Maybe it was the Grudge. Maybe that's what it was. But oh man, like, yeah, people they want the interaction, right? Well, I'm unsubscribing. Like, why'd you tell me if you're gonna do it? Like, just unsubscribe, you know. Baby, it's cold outside video. So I've had a Santa Claus one going up soon too, man. About the non-gender, the neutral gender Santa Claus. Which, get this, he's got skinny jeans, tattoos, a flat stomach, and a beard. It looks like me. Like, it looks like me now. I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, but, you know, what's so cool about that? If you see people walking around all the time, like, you know, yeah, it's got, whatever is that noise, that fucking like that moaning noise, it's like that in the headphones. And if it's late and you're just about to fall asleep, that fucker pops off. And I keep it pretty loud too, right? I appreciate that, Steven. I mean, I'm around 200 pounds now, 198 to 200 I'm staying right now. Well, I do have a channel called BioLightened. It's called BioLightened. There's only a couple of videos up, and I delve into some subjects that I'll be honest with you. If I talk about the spiritual stuff, not many people would understand it, and I understand that not many people would understand it. I get it. You know, um, how can I say this to get it to be understood? So there's a path to enlightenment. Okay, and you might be able to understand it. So you're talking to me about this stuff, so you might understand it. So there's a path to enlightenment, and what enlightenment truly is. People go, "Oh, I've been enlightened to the fact that I know how to do bench presses now." No, that's not enlightenment, right? What enlightenment is you become aware of who you truly are, not just like the physical thing, but what's inside, what's up here, right? Oh, so your grandfather's a Mason, and now I know why. Masons are very spiritual. They're not satanic like people think they are. Matter of fact, all of our teachings are based on the Bible. To be honest with you, and everything we do is based on the King Solomon's temple. It's a very, very religious thing. Although you don't have to be Christian to be a Mason. We have Muslims, we have people that follow other faiths, but um, we have one of the Masons chiming in right now, sending me some stuff. For you guys that don't know, have found the Ark of the Covenant, which is a pretty big thing. King Solomon actually had built the temple to protect the Ark of the Covenant, and they now actually know where it is, and they're going after it. I guess there's a chamber like below it. Anyways, whatever. But there is a road to enlightenment. Enlightenment is being aware of yourself, your space, the things around you, and how you fit in the world and are connected to each person and living thing out there. Period. Like you don't even understand. Like, gonna sound fucking batshit crazy, but this fucking rice thing right here, let me take the rice out of the thing. It's plastic, right? Well, how did we make this? We started manipulating elements and stuff, right, to make this. Well, those elements are in our body: salt, gases, right? Different minerals. I mean, it's in us. Like part of what's in us is in this fucking thing, and they teach you that in school, right? But it's a very scientific thing. It's not a spiritual thing. When you look at Unbroken Alliance was mine and two partners from Primeval, which is why we just dissolved it when I left Primeval. But when you realize like you're connected to that fucking thing, like obviously you don't feel it, it's not your friend, but you're in a way connected to it, right? Pretty much anything that you make, you're connected. This cotton that's making this grew out of the fucking ground. Where did it grow from? The soil, which contains minerals. It needs water. It needs sunlight. It needs all the it's the same things that make up what we are in a different way. So it's kind of hard to explain, right? My opinion on Mormons, I don't know. I don't know. I've known like one Mormon. She was cool, She definitely had her way of explaining things that was different. She explained something called garments to me. She called them garmies. They're garments that Mormons wear under their clothes. And she claimed, and I don't know if this is true or not because I don't know anything besides what she told me about Mormons, but she explained to me that Mormons are somehow connected to Freemasonry. Like some of the symbols on the garments are connected to Freemasonry. Now, I don't know how that fucking works, but Mormons. So I don't think Mormons the door knocker. Those are the Jehovah's Witness. Jehovah's Witnesses were the ones that when they came to our house, we'd fucking hide. We'd like get down and like, mom's like, shh. Well, here's the thing. Like, why do we have souls? What if you don't have a soul, right? What if it's not a soul? What is a soul, right? You're thinking of this shape maybe of a human figure, like a soul. What if what's inside of us that powers us is energy, right? Energy that can't be seen, energy that can't be held, can't be touched. Same things that's inside the plants. Same energy that you can't see and feel that propel a rocket. You see the flames and stuff, that's a byproduct of creating energy, but you don't actually see the energy itself. What if we're energy and we're not souls? What if everything around us is connected through these different energies? What if it's not necessarily souls? What if when you die, that energy, like it leaves, but it's not this cloud that floats away in the shape of a fucking human up to a cloud up there where there's a guy sitting on it. You know what I mean? Like that's not how that works. I don't believe that there's a guy in a cloud up there with a long white beard. I mean, you want to get into some discussions, we'll talk about some religious stuff right now. About to upset some people, but I'll give you something different to think about. when they said God created Jesus in his image. So people now look at Jesus and they say, well, God looks like him, but with a white beard and white hair, right? Like that God looks just like Jesus. And realistically, if you read the Bible, God created man in his image. Man, we don't look like Jesus. We don't look like God. I mean, some of us do when you grow your beard and your hair out, but even then, the facial features don't look like him. Women have long hair; they can't grow beards. So, created man, we created woman from man to be the companion to man. Like this is what the Bible says, right? What if what the Bible's talking about, what's created in God's image, was in here with Jesus? Because that's what we are supposed to. Ancient Aliens, love that show. But that's what we're supposed to do. We are supposed to think and feel like Jesus did, right? Now, the only reason Jesus even came to this fucking earth, which I do believe he was here, I don't know about the whole magical, like, anyways, he was here. I do believe he was there. But what if, not what if, when I talk to preachers and stuff, and I even say this, I've talked to, like, my ex-counselor was a priest. I said, Jesus was sent here because we fucked up. If we were doing the right thing and we were living here like we were supposed to, like we were in God's image, he would have never had to fucking send him down here. It would have never happened. So basically, we fucked up long enough to where he's like, fuck you guys, I'm sending this guy down there, and he's going to straighten this shit out. So Jesus was created in God's image, meaning he loved, he forgave, he spoke out about love. That's what was created in the image. But we here created an image, and as humans, we think, oh, image, like what we can see, physical appearance. Not the truth, but just something to kind of sit on. So right, but something about Jesus stuck though, right? He preached things, but something stuck. Why did what he say stuck? Stuck, whatever. Like I believe hands down that like the Prophet Muhammad, which is the Muslim religion, is essentially the same type of, I want to say soldier, but the same type of teacher that Jesus was, sent, same thing. Muslim religion wasn't moving along like it was supposed to. So the Prophet Muhammad was sent. So every religion has something very similar. Like as human beings, we fuck everything up. That's what we do. We came to this earth to learn lessons, learn our lessons while we're here before we die. And we just fucking tear everything up. We hate each other. We beat each other. We fucking tear the world up. We fuck it all up. So therefore, all of these different these religions have sent someone down to cut the shit, right? But God is not a man sitting on a cloud looking down on us like this. It is some kind of energy. It is some kind of being. I don't fucking know. But when we all die, we're going to run into this fucking thing and we're going to understand it. From what I understand from people like C.T. Fletcher who have actually died, like he actually died for 2 minutes and said that he felt no pain. He felt peace. He felt a million times better than he's ever felt. When he woke up, he was like rested and shit after being dead for 2 minutes. Right? He didn't say much of what he said or what he saw, right? So I do believe though, even though his heart stopped, it wasn't, the energy didn't leave. He was right there. It didn't go. Because you've heard the people come back and say they saw this and they saw that and there was the light and there was all these different types of things. I do believe that stuff happens. I mean, there's too many very vivid explanations of stuff that people that have never met each other, never talked to each other, have confirmed that they saw similar things. People in other languages that can't even understand what this person said confirm it, saying in another language something happened to them. You know what I mean? So there's something to it, but I don't know. You know, we're gonna have to see. So DMT. So DMT is on mine and Aaron's list. So we watch Kentucky Ayahuasca, and I have about 5 friends, including Dorian Yates, that preach the DMT. And I'll tell you right now, if we had ayahuasca here right now, I would drink a cup right on camera right now, shut the camera off and do what I need to do with Mother Aya. They call ayahuasca Mother Aya, but hands down, that's on my list of things to do. There's very few things that I would take a chance with my sobriety. Very few things. Ayahuasca is absolutely one of them. Hands down, there's no doubt in my mind that it is not a drug, it is a medicine. And I haven't met one person yet. Matter of fact, the people that are addicted to drugs, when they do ayahuasca, are able to stop using drugs. So it's like, there's no, like I said, Dorian was the first one that, and then another friend of mine, Danny, she was like, she'd done it 2 or 3 times and it completely changed her life, you know? Mother Earth's plant medicine. Absolutely, marijuana is not a drug, it's a medicine. CBD oil, which I take every day, it's a medicine, hands down, you know. Athletic training to be explosive. So I've been combining some of it now. The problem is trying to figure out how to, I wouldn't do it, I would drink it live and then I would shut it off and do whatever came to, whatever happened. So hire me as a coach. You go to bios3training.com and it's right on there. It says personal training. You just click on it and it takes you right through everything. But hands down, that's ayahuasca is absolutely something that, yes, I would absolutely do. There's no doubt in my mind. If somebody was like local that did it, like a shaman or something, I'd absolutely do it. You know, Dorian explained it to me where he said, as much as you think you know and as badass as you think you are, he said, it's like you live with a curtain. He's like, you only see what's on this side of the curtain. He said, but as soon as you open, Megan, what's up? As soon as you open that curtain and you see what's really out there, you no longer fear death. You no longer fear man. You no longer fear anything. You realize that what's really out there. He goes, but the problem is your brain is only so, it can only comprehend so much. So when you get back, you don't remember everything. He's like, you remember it immediately, but some of it fades away. Like your memories fade away. Almost like your brain is kind of like, it's so traumatic what you go through because you're working through a trauma that it starts to put it like in the back burner and make it disappear, you know? But we'll see, you know, we'll see. Eventually at some point we'll be doing it. There's no doubt in my mind. Right, 10% brain power. So imagine if you tapped into 20, 30, 40% of brain power. There's a movie called, was it Salt? No, it was, who's that chick in it? Scarlett Johansson, where they kept getting her to use more and more of her brain, and eventually she like fucking disappeared. Like it was crazy, but spiritual beings of conscious experience, human experience. So we are Lucy. That's what it was, Ed. You were right, man. We are, man, I'm gonna sound so fucking crazy and probably lose all the subscribers, but it doesn't matter. We are versions of what we call our higher self. The higher self is our, it's a piece of us, right? So think of God with all these like light beings, energies, whatever it is, right? And when we decide we're coming down here, that energy is split, put down here. We wind up down here, then we're born. And the higher self is what we consider intuition. We consider that that little voice talking to us. It's God. It's not God. It's your higher self. You know, when you're in an area that you're feeling weird in because you're in danger, it's the higher self. That's what's talking to you. And it's not a concept. It's a real thing. Like it's many different things through religion, spiritual. Like there's all the different names and stuff for it. But basically, it's what you're trying to get back to. So your higher self is all about love, right? It just acts out of love. It doesn't even give a shit about who did you wrong. It doesn't give a shit about what you want as far as like you want the next car. It doesn't give a shit. What it does is take your basic self, which is what you're born into, and bring that to your conscious self, trying to get to your higher self. So, and I mean, a lot of people just think I'm this dumb meathead. You know, they're just like, he's a fucking dumb bodybuilder meathead. You know, I've had these discussions. As a matter of fact, when I was at Real Weights for Real Heroes, a friend of mine actually had died while I was there. I got the call right before the whole thing started, Rich Greenbaum. And I was still wrapping my head around it. I kind of sat by myself. I should have been there, like meeting all the people and stuff. And I kind of walked around and stuff, but I needed a breather. So I sat down and next thing you know, I had people around me. The weirdest thing was the people that sat around me didn't know what was going on. They didn't even know I was into the spiritual thing, but they were all into that stuff. Like the discussion turned into a spiritual discussion. One guy was in the military. He stepped on an IED. It blew up. He didn't step on it. His Humvee rolled over it and he was in front of it. It blew up. He said he was fucking up in the air and then he fucking turned around and he saw himself over there and he fucking landed on the other side. And when he landed on the other side, he was back in his fucking body. He goes, I can't tell you what the fuck was going on. He goes, but I'm telling you right now, that explosive blew me out of my fucking body. And he was absolutely convinced that he had an out-of-body experience and he was out of his body. This guy had no idea I was even, you know, into spiritual stuff. And, you know, another guy said he got to his friend's house one night at a party and they had smoked all the weed. So they gave him, you'll see orbs, fucking OBEs. Oh, I was saying orbs. You'll see orbs in a lot of my videos. There's energy around me a lot. I don't know who it is or what it is, but there is. He said that he got to the party and they'd smoked all the weed. So all they had was mushrooms. So they gave him the mushrooms and he ate all the mushrooms. And he said that he thought he was tripping, but all of a sudden he said he fucking was sitting in a chair. He goes, I felt myself pull up. He goes, I was being pulled backwards out of the chair. I'm looking at myself. He goes, and I'm going up and there's the ceiling. He goes, and I went through the ceiling. I didn't break through it. I went through it. He goes, next thing you know, I could see the top of the house, the trees. That just kept going. I was going up, 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 up. He goes, I was literally out like in these fucking stars. He's like, and I'm like looking around like, what the fuck? He goes, I'm like, wow, I'm tripping my balls off. He goes, but there was something in me telling me it wasn't a trip. He goes, there was something in me telling me that I was actually experiencing this. He was like, what do you think? I said, I don't fucking know. You tell me. Like, I'm not the expert. You tell me, So when you overdose, you had a similar experience too. Man, I'm telling you, like, I've never overdosed. I don't know how to explain it, man. Like, I've taken 10 bags in one shot. By the time I was done with heroin, I was doing 10 bags at a shot, a bundle at a shot, 5 bundles a day. That's a whole fucking brick a day. And I wasn't overdosing. And this shit was China white. It was fucking as pure as you could get. And I was still, K2. What the fuck is K2? I've never even heard of that. But anyways, we got an hour long on here. So I want to bounce out of here. So hopefully you guys, it was just a high tolerance. So Puerto Rico, not now, but my buddy Johnny Styles is from Puerto Rico. So I wouldn't, put it past going out there with him, Weed is not a drug. The thing is, you say you can't quit. You can, you just don't want to, and that's okay. As long as the weed is not interfering with your life, I don't see any problem with it whatsoever. Like, honestly, don't. It's amazing for anxiety. We have a cannabinoid system in our endocannabinoid system, which needs to be nourished. So I have no problem with it whatsoever. So, but let's sign off here, guys. We got 61 minutes on here. I don't want to keep you guys up too late. I got a fuck ton. I got to start packing boxes in the fucking in the garage. So if you guys get a box that comes out tonight, it was done right after here. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for the support. I appreciate it, the love. Thank you guys for the donations. That's really cool. I didn't know that this did this. This is pretty cool. But thank you guys so much. And I really look forward to you guys, spreading the word, not about Ninth Life, the clothing line, but Ninth Life, the concept, Ninth Life, the concept, and how we can live day to day as full as we probably possibly can, because I feel like everything's perspective. And you can put in perspective, how do you live your life to the fullest? Put it in perspective. Is today, if you lived 8 lives and today was your 9th life and it's over soon, what are you going to do with that last life? That's the question. BioStreetTraining@gmail.com. Leave comments down below. But don't fight. It's just not nice. It's not spiritual. www.BioStreet.com is a blog. Thank you guys for tuning in. Love you guys. And we are out.